Hello, my name is Sandy, and this is my interview video for the volunteer opportunity by AIESEC for Athens, Greece. I am an Asian humanities major at UCLA with a concentration in Chinese, and I hope to pursue a minor as well in entrepreneurship. My strengths, I would have to say, would be my amiability. I'm very friendly, and also I'm very social and easy to get along with. Also, I do have experience in business. As you can probably see from my application that I turned in, I have experience doing property management since 2013, right after I graduated college. And I also did sales with my father for our family business. In terms of my weaknesses, I would definitely say that I have the habit of signing up for too much sometimes, and that in turn sometimes leaves me in a situation where I'm feeling very overwhelmed. But usually, so far, I have gotten through everything okay. It hasn't really been detrimental to anything. My interests include eating. I really like to eat. I really like good food, and also traveling. I actually just got back from Singapore and Malaysia for spring break, and I've been to Europe, Asia, and I hope to travel more, obviously. I decided to volunteer abroad because I've always wanted to study abroad, or volunteer is even actually better because I've always wanted to go to a different country and go abroad and stay there for a long amount of time in a sustainable way, especially if I can do something productive in the meantime rather than just going on vacation and sightseeing. I could actually accomplish something such as like professionally or even volunteer wise. And I decided to apply for AIESEC because we had some speakers come to a lecture during class at UCLA, and it just sounded like a good opportunity, so I signed up. And I did some further research online, and a lot of people seem to really regard this association very well, very highly. So that just pretty much was a no-brainer for me. Also, because it was like through UCLA, I feel as though it might be more reputable and it's more safe probably. So that's also a factor. I chose Greece in particular because I've always thought the history of like the philosophers and also the architecture with the columns and stuff to be so interesting. My top two destinations are Spain and Greece, actually. So this would be the perfect opportunity for me. I love the culture, and I also really love like Mediterranean food, so that also factors in too. For this specific opportunity, it's supposed to be educating people about drinking water. I think that like obviously, well, I am an environmentalist. I actually wanted to major in it at UCLA, but ended up going with Chinese instead because it has more relevance to my future professionally. But I've always been really interested in environmentalism. I'm that person at my house who's always shutting off the lights and trying to save like materials and stuff. Especially because, you know, in light of the times right now with like rapid globalization, I think it's especially important for people to be educated about like conservation and environmentalism. Because, you know, all of our resources are not unlimited, especially water. I think it's really important to just protect the environment, of course, and live sustainably. So I think I'm really suitable for this position because obviously, like I said, I have experience business-wise. I'm also very eager to learn. I'm also very eager to help. I do volunteer once in a while at like dog shelters and like homeless shelters as well in downtown Los Angeles in my free time because I really like giving back. It makes me feel good, especially considering I'm unemployed. I don't need to work, so I do have free time, and I feel like I should, you know, kind of convey that appreciation and my good fortune onto other people who may not be as fortunate as me. Also, I have experience in traveling, so I'm adaptable to different like environments and situations. I think I'm very culturally accepting, and yeah. The project is for 6 weeks. The only thing that would make me quit, okay, for me, because I am so independent here in Los Angeles, I have my own car, I get to go wherever I want, basically. To me, autonomy is very important. And a large part of me wanting to go to Athens is so that I can also travel to other cities and destinations in my free time. So if that's not a possibility, that would be kind of an issue for me a bit. Obviously, I would like to go to like Santorini over the weekend if possible, or I could just wait even for the opportunity to end. But I would really like to maintain my autonomy so that I can go out and explore the actual city in my free time. Obviously, it shouldn't interfere with my work, but that to me is very important. To be able to like travel in my free time and socialize with locals and learn basically about Athens and the culture in Greece. Main challenges that I might face, I can't really see any. I mean, obviously, I might get homesick and I might miss my friends, but I don't see how that would interfere with anything. I'll just call them more often and stay in contact with them. I'm sure I'll be making more friends while in Greece. But aside from that, I don't see any other issues. I get along with people very well. So my biggest accomplishment in my life, actually, I would say is probably getting into UCLA. I'm not really a very like studious person per se. I'm not someone who like studies constantly, but I still managed to get in through, you know, like working. It's been kind of a struggle. But also actually growing up, I was pretty overweight. I lost about 30 pounds about 2 years ago, and I think like I really regret not doing it earlier. I have no regrets about losing the weight, but I regret not doing it earlier. It has like changed me socially completely. I've like become a different person, much more outgoing and much more confident, and I think just like overall health is a very important thing to, you know, take care of. And I'm actually really proud of that. An activity that would make this project more successful. Okay, so I noticed that like the organization in this volunteer organization is not that great. I got contacted about by three or four different people asking me to either like Skype them or to make this video, and I just think it makes the whole application process a lot more like less organized and like messier and less efficient. I think if you guys fixed that and had like one designated representative for each applicant, that would make the organization look a lot better. And then it would also just make everything like the process a lot easier and less confusing for the applicant. I think also like icebreakers would be really nice if we could like get to know our like designated representatives. That would be really helpful, and to get to like hear their own testimonies about the volunteer experience that they had, that would be really nice as well. Okay. If I were to arrive in Greece and there was no one to like greet me, I wouldn't really take that in offense. I think it's important to realize that a lot of complications occur. That's just life. And in that case, I would probably just call an Uber or a taxi to get to the facility, as long as I know the address. But I don't see why anyone would really have a struggle with that. Okay, accommodation is provided, and oh yeah, I would really like, I actually think both opportunities would be fine. Staying with a host would be really nice because I would get to know some locals and maybe get to like, you know, interact with people and see how they live from day to day in Athens and see the difference between living in Los Angeles and America, and as opposed to like living in Greece. I would be able to learn about the culture, and like they would probably give me a lot of like local knowledge, which is really nice. I think that's really important when traveling. But also living with other volunteers obviously would be really great as well, because then I would have a lot of more peers, a lot more opportunities to like social network and then also make friends. So either one would be really nice. I would be fine with that. And I am okay with AIESEC not accommodating me after the trip. I think that's totally reasonable. That's not an issue for me. And if I'm not selected for this particular project, I would be interested. I also applied for, obviously Greece would be my first choice, but I also applied for the volunteer opportunity in Bucharesti in Romania. But I am open to other opportunities that I haven't heard of as well. Basically, I am very I'm very flexible with the opportunities. But I would really, really, really prefer to go to Greece. After this experience, I envision myself hopefully with more knowledge, especially about Greece and the culture there. I would like to walk away with a lot more experience, both professionally as well as, living in a country for an extended period of time, which I've never really done before. I hope that this opportunity will make me more independent, even more than I already am. And I just hope to walk away with just a lot of good memories and experiences, basically. And yeah, after, if I do get accepted, payment would not be an issue, and I would be able and totally willing to move forward and book my flight as soon as possible. So thank you for your time and your consideration of my application. I really appreciate it.